Hello again, and welcome back to another episode of Flipping Furniture. My name is Monica, and I am the founder and creator of Girasol Vintage. This week's video is super exciting because while I refinish these nightstands, I am going to tell you a story time about finding valuable things inside thrifted furniture and what is the most valuable thing I have ever found. So grab your popcorn and let's get started. First things first, we're going to go ahead and start to remove all the hardware and we're going to clean this piece. I'm going to spare you the cleaning part because, well, you all know how to clean and we really have a lot to get through. After cleaning my piece and allowing it to dry, I sanded down the top with my Surf Prep sander and I used a 150 grit sandpaper. The top of these nightstands are solid wood, so I don't have to be super gentle when removing the current finish. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and get started with this story time. I'm actually really excited to tell you guys this story. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I bought these nightstands at an auction, an online auction, and I paid $40 for them. My idea was to refinish them, but for one reason or another, I never got to them, so they ended up in my mom's basement. Fast forward a few years later, my husband and I bought a 3-bedroom house, and we don't have kids, we have 3 dogs, so 3 bedrooms is a lot to put furniture into. But I remember that I had these nightstands in my mom's basement, so I ended up bringing them over to the new house, and I started doing my whole cleaning them, removing the drawers, sanding down any imperfections, and basically just refinishing the nightstands. I ended up taking the drawers out, but then I went ahead and put them back in because I like to paint with the drawers being inside. But I never got a chance to put a top coat on them, and I needed to leave for a few days. So I told my husband, why don't you go ahead and put the wax on them? It shouldn't be too difficult. It's just wax. You're just gonna put it on and then you're just gonna wipe it off. Simple, right? Okay, you guys, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna have to be pausing our story time to tell you briefly what is happening with this transformation. So here, what you're seeing is that once I was done sanding the top, I started to scuff sand the rest of the nightstands with a 220 grit sandpaper. And this was just to remove any imperfections, any brush strokes that I left from the previous transformation. So yeah, that's basically what's happening here. Okay, back to our story time. My husband and I are very different people when it comes to completing tasks. He's very meticulous and I can just see him taking his sweet time and doing everything to perfection to wax the nightstands. Obviously, I am so grateful for how he does things because we wouldn't have been able to discover what was hiding inside one of the nightstands. After scuff sanding, I dusted my pieces and I started taping the tops to protect them from overspray. That dog behind me, that's Punchy, and he loves to eat grass. Anyway, have I mentioned how much I hate taping? It is literally my least favorite thing to do, but it's so important to do it if you want clean edges and just an overall high quality paint job. I also taped the metal leg protectors, and once I had the piece upside down, I went ahead and gave it a good clean. When my husband started prepping to wax the nightstands, I was out of state, so he sent me a text message that said, "Babe, I just found something very interesting and I need you to call me on Facebook Messenger right now." So I went ahead and I called him back, and he basically told me or asked me, I don't remember the exact conversation, but he said, "Did you know there was an envelope underneath the drawer?" And I do remember faintly seeing something or feeling something or hearing a paper noise, but I didn't care to look, to be honest with you. I didn't. Ooh, this story is getting good, but I gotta tell you what's going on with the transformation. So I went ahead and covered the openings at the doors because again, I'm going to be spraying this and I don't want any overspray to get inside. And for this transformation, I am going to be using Silk All-in-One Mineral Paint by Dixie Belle, and I think this is called Hampton Olive. Now I have used this line of paint from Dixie Belle and I haven't had an issue. I don't know if I just got a bad batch, but this particular paint ended up taking like a whole month to cure. I went ahead and did the scratch test on a different piece that I used with the same paint, and that sucker was still not passing that scratch test. Mind you, I primed that other piece and I went ahead and top coated the other piece. So it took a long time for it to cure. Anyway, back to our story. So at this point, we're on a video call and he's asking me if I put the envelope there. And I have no idea what he's talking about. So he flips the camera around, and sure enough, sitting on top of our bed is an envelope and a ton of money. Now, this is what my husband meant when he said he found something interesting. 1, he found a lot of money, and 2, he found euros. I have no idea why these beautiful nightstands would have euros in them. All I knew was that I got these nightstands from an auction, and I have no idea who the previous owner was or anything like that. That's not information I get from the auction. For this next part, I'm going to take the cane webbing and I'm going to soak it in warm water to get those natural fibers to loosen up. If you're installing rattan for the first time, make sure you do this step so that your panels end up nice and tight after they dry. I use my pneumatic stapler to attach the panels, and of course I will have all the links below for the products I used today. We ended up counting the money and we had 12,000 euros in total. I did a little digging and I found that I could exchange the money at my local bank for a fee. In all, I ended up with a little less than $10,000. But before I exchanged the money, I called the auction place to find out about their policies regarding items left in the furniture, and they basically told me that because this was an online auction, anything left inside the lot was not their responsibility and it belonged to the person who purchased the lot. So that's it. I kept the money, and up until this day, these nightstands have been my biggest money maker. Many times when I start a project, I have an idea and I end up doing something completely different. My initial thought was to stay in the edge of the nightstand to match the center, but after seeing how good it matched the rattan, I decided to leave it natural. So I just went ahead and top coated my entire piece with poly and satin finish. As you can see here, I went ahead and I sprayed the hardware in the legs just to make sure that they match. We are almost done with this transformation, so thank you for staying with me till the end. I appreciate every minute you spend watching my videos, and I hope you like this story time. I am more than happy to share a little bit of my life with you and all the adventures that go into refinishing furniture. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, share this story with other people, and before I show you guys the final result, let's go ahead and take a look at what we started with. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time for another furniture flip. Bye-bye.